You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Folks, nearly 500,000 coronavirus cases in the United States. The number is 489,646. 18,034 people have died from the virus. 26,777 are recovering as a result. Folks, the death toll worldwide has passed more than 100,000. The epicenter of this virus, New York City, where New York Governor Andrew Cuomo talks about a potential second wave. Watch this.
Be a second wave. Let's look at the countries that have gone through this reopening process and what can we learn from them, right? Well, we have to start to reopen. Let's look at what the other countries who have gone before us, what they did, what worked, and what didn't work. And when you take just a cursory review, you see caution signs. Hong Kong appeared to have the virus under control. They let its guard down. The virus came back. Hong Kong recorded the biggest rise in cases and a new wave of infections. Is that true? Could it happen here? Article yesterday, Italy has seen a bump in the number of cases. Before we take a step, make sure we are more informed and more aware than we were in the past. They're talking about a second wave for Singapore. You go back and you look at the 1918 flu epidemic. That was over 10 months. There was a first wave. There was a second wave. The second wave was worse than the first wave because the virus mutated. Third peak, and the whole experience was 10 months. Well, is there any extrapolation to where we are today? I don't know the answers. This is not what I do. It's not what a state does. But we know the questions, and we should have the questions answered before we take a step forward.
Joining us right now is Congressman Bennie Thompson of Mississippi. Congressman, welcome back to Roland Martin Unfiltered.
And thank you very much for having me.
We have been following what's been happening. You have Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida who is saying, hey, open the schools up, but it doesn't look like kids get coronavirus. Today at the news conference, Dr. Fauci actually said, no, people under 25 can indeed get coronavirus. That doesn't make sense. You're there in Mississippi where you have what I call the second clueless governor in America, Tate Reeves, who ignored local mayors and chose to have all of these businesses open, declared nearly all of them essential businesses. Then all of a sudden we saw an increase there in Mississippi. Now you have Trump talking about, oh, May 1st, reopen the government. Is it just illogical and nonsensical to be talking about reopening the economy, reopening the country, when you still do not have a handle on this virus?
It is absolutely nonsensical. We should listen to the health professionals. They are the ones who know how to address this pandemic. The politicians, the majority of the ones you hear talking, Roland, as they say, are talking without the facts. There's no one in their right mind who feels comfortable enough to put people back in harm's way, given what we're dealing with right now. So the president, Ron DeSantis, Tate Reeves here in Mississippi, and a few other governors, they absolutely have it wrong. So the people should not follow them. Listen to the health professionals. They are the ones who know.
And obviously, look, I mean, we're all impacted by what's happening economically. Our business is impacted. So many other small businesses, major companies, people, of course, unemployment claims are more than 6 million. People have no idea. But look, at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is whether or not people are going to be in a situation where they may very well die. I mean, we have these stories of people not showing any symptoms and all of a sudden dying from coronavirus. Some people being impacted 2 or 3 days, diagnosed, and then they die. Other people, 2 or 3 weeks, and they survive. And so we've had numerous healthcare professionals on this show, on Roland Martin Unfiltered, saying we still do not have a proper handle on this virus in terms of how to spot it. Yesterday, we had an emergency room physician on, and she held up this massive chart to determine how to diagnose someone with the coronavirus. She said, I can't sit here and read this crap. I got to go with my own gut instinct. That's where we still are in America.
Well, Roland, we have some other things. There are over 300 million people living in America. We've only tested 2 million. Every health professional you talk to said the best way to get a real handle on it is test everybody here. For some reason, the Trump administration is resistant to this notion of testing. Just as you've indicated, the indicators sometimes say one thing, but to another health professional, they say another. Everybody says testing, testing, testing is the way to go. But we've only done 2 million. Now, Trump brags and says, oh, we've done 2 million. That's more than anybody in the world. But that's 2 million of over 300 million people in your country. Say, get a grip. We absolutely have to do the test. Apart from that, what we have to do now is start targeting where we are sending people in to do the testing, just like Katrina.
Well, here's
when the cavalry comes, they'll come to the suburbs and say, "Oh, you come out here where we are. We're scared, afraid to go in there." Many African American, Latino communities are not being served at this point because the point of decision making is made by the governors of those respective states. So we're going to have to ramp up getting this done. The Congressional Black Caucus has just taken a position that we're going to go and demand that FEMA and other agencies step up and do the right thing based on what the data is now saying.
And in fact, this is yesterday, Donald Trump at yesterday's news conference, being asked a question specifically about nationwide testing. Here we go.
The administration discussed the possibility of reopening the country when the administration does not have an adequate nationwide testing system for this virus. Don't you need a nationwide testing system for the virus before you reopen?
We have a great testing system. We have the best, right now, the best testing system in the world. But there are certain sections, there are certain sections in the country that are in phenomenal shape already. Other sections are coming online. Other sections are going down. And we, in addition to that, are giving out millions of tests. And every day we're doing it exponentially. We're picking up. And what we'll be doing in the very near future is going to certain areas of our country and do massive testing. It's not necessary, but it would be a good thing to have.
Don't you need that, though, Mr. President, to make sure people are safe going back to work? You don't want to send people back to the workplace.
We want to have it, and we're going to see if we have it. Do you need it? No. Is it a nice thing to do? Yes. We're talking about 325 million people, and that's not going to happen, as you can imagine. And no, it would never happen with anyone else either. Other countries do it, but they do it in a limited form. We'll probably be the leader of the pack. Please.
Now, that was yesterday. That was yesterday's answer. Here is him getting a similar question today from Jim Acosta. Watch this.
The job they've done is incredible. And you shouldn't be asking that kind of a question, Jim, honestly. Okay, look, I really don't believe you're that bad a guy. You shouldn't be asking that kind of a question. You should say, you know what? It's been really incredible what's been happening. Jim, nobody's asking. What governor, let me ask you this. What governor, we have more tests than anybody in the world. We have virtually every country in the world calling us, asking us, how do we get these tests that you have? Your testing is the best in the world. How do we get it? They've done a fantastic job. And when you ask a question like that, it's very insulting to a lot of great people. Okay, one more, please. These people, the job
That's a flat-out lie. In South Korea, they have actually, if you look at the population of South Korea compared to the population of the United States, they've tested more people per million. We're not even close. Not even close. He's lying.
That's right. And he does it. He attacks the press when they try to hold him accountable. But that's just who this guy is. He is a con of the first order, and we are in the midst of a major pandemic, and he's lying every day he gets on a press conference. So the Congressional Black Caucus in the CARES Act 2, we're going to put some specific markers down for the small business, African-American owned banks, credit unions, to make sure that we get a pro rata share of the money. This notion that, well, we'll give the money and then it'll work itself out, or a rising tide lifts all boats, that's not true. It won't happen. We have found out that with this $2.2 trillion, we're struggling to make ends meet in terms of helping businesses. More importantly with that, they fought us tooth and nail on simple things like unemployment insurance. They said people would be making too much money unemployed. You know, that's this notion that somehow people of color don't want to go to work. Most people go to work every day, work hard, and don't get paid the proper amount. So what we plan to do, and one of the good things that happened is Mitch McConnell didn't get his way on the CARES Act 2. And Pelosi, Jim Clyburn, and other people held their grounds and said, no, you're not going to throw this price up here and ask us, well, either you're going to support it or you against business. No, you can do yours, but we're going to bring ours to the table too. And what Mitch McConnell tried to do was say, well, let's do this one, and then let's do yours next. Oh, come on, give me a break. So what we plan to do on behalf of the Congressional Black Caucus is fight for black businesses, fight for a greater piece of this opportunity pie. You know, we had to fight to get houses of worship eligible to get some of this money. Or they tried to say, well, church and state is separate. No, Trump went to court and said churches could endorse candidates. Now you say we can't deal with churches. Nope. So now houses of worship can participate. But it's still a major effort. We're trying to get community banks more included in the next step. We're trying to get CDFI institutions. So we're trying to fix it. And let me just say, Roland, if any of your audience has any idea on how we can fix it, the Congressional Black Caucus at a minimum, we're absolutely wide open. We want to hear good ideas. Karen Bass is the chair of the Black Caucus. We're on the phone every day trying to figure this thing out because it's a challenge. But apart from that, we're going to do our best to try to hold this renegade in the White House accountable. But the law does not matter, as well as the fact that lying is something he does every day of the week. I think they've quit counting the number of times that he lies. My last count said it was 17,000 before the coronavirus hit. I can only imagine what it is now.
Congressman Bennie Thompson of Mississippi, we certainly appreciate it, sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
And I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications.